This is Robin Cavendish, a passionate British man, a good brother and a wonderful son. One day he was playing a game along with his family. Suddenly, his eyes catches this stunning and beautiful woman called Diana. Both of them gave a good glance at one another as if they were born for this day. Robin's first impression was more than enough to impress this gorgeous woman, who looked like one of her kind. Things started to unfold and they reached the point of hanging out along, and it was quite evident that they had fallen in love pretty soon. Meanwhile, Diana's brother were arguing if Robin is really the best choice for her, but little did they know, she had made up her mind already. We are moved to the time of 1958 in Kenya. We can see them enjoying their vacation to the fullest. The whole group even spend a night and have a campfire. After a few months, while Robin was driving, Diana reveals she is pregnant, to which Robin reaches cloud nine-like and felt the luckiest man alive. It's been a while after the incident. Diana is many months in her pregnancy. Meanwhile, Robin felt a bit tired while playing badminton with his friends. Soon, to have some fun, they all started to play with hula hoop. While playing, Robin fell down as if someone sucked out all his energy from his body. He later walks over to his wife Diana and kisses her, to which she even looked worried about him, but he did not think much of it. Following night, Robin was feeling dizzy, weak and thirsty. He walks over to his friend and reveals he was not feeling well, and suddenly he faints on the floor. We can see him laying on a bed. While doctor taking a look at him, immediately he began to not be able to breathe, which results in him taken to emergency ward and given oxygen by an old machine. Next morning, Diana meets Robin and kisses him with pure love that she had for him, which makes him smile. She is being told by the doctor that he caught a virus called polio, just like anyone can get cold or flu. She asked for the time it will take to cure him, to which doctor told the truth, that it is irreversible. It just took one incident to make Diana and Robin's life to turn into hell from heaven. She asks her parents if she can go home with her along with their child, but they think he will not be able to live for a long time and denies her. Time to time, Diana would take their child to the hospital for Robin to be able to experience the wonderful feeling of being a father. Soon, he is transferred into a bigger hospital along with other patients. One day, Robin was feeling depressed and told his wife to not come and see him, which hurt her a bit. Diana's brothers met Robin to cheer him up a bit, but realized that he was asking for death. When they tell this to Diana, she acted like a strong woman instead of just crying. It is clear that Diana is no ordinary woman, perhaps a strong one. While Robin was alive on life support, he was hopeless and depressed, or maybe even confused on what to do anymore. Diana knew what he was going through, since he could not even look at his own son. One day, a priest comes over to speak some spiritual words to give some hope to Robin. However, he did something totally unexpected in return. Robin started moving his hand and finally has recovered, but it was just his dream. Diana asked Robin if there is something she can do for him, and he asked her to take him out of there. Finally, she asks the head doctor about this, but he strongly talks against it. He suggests this has never been done before. He assumes Robin will soon die if she ever take him out of the hospital. Diana can be seen talking to an old man to buy his old house and makes a deal with him for £7,000. She asked the doctor about the machine, which was used to pump oxygen into Robin's lungs. Even though the risks were far greater than the reward, Diana was determined to take any chance to make Robin a happy man in any way possible. They take a new bed into the house. Now Diana along with junior doctors were sneaking Robin out of the hospital, but right outside, head doctor sees them and strongly suggests them to take him back. However, Robin himself threatened to call police in case he is held in the hospital against his will. He is finally able to hear and see the nature and the vast universe outside with his own eyes. Slowly he is taken into his room, where the machine is started. Everyone was surprised and relieved to hear that he felt wonderful. Right there, he meets his son, who has grown a few months older, and smiles acknowledging his father's presence. We can see Diana giving him comfort and making him see how great life could be if he really tried. One day, while his son and dog were playing, by mistake his dog caused the machine to shut down, resulting in Robin not able to breathe and barely able to signal his wife. Fortunately, she was able to see him in trouble and put back the plug to the machine, though Robin felt thrilled about the incident. A few days later, everyone arrived at their house to celebrate the birthday of Robin's son, Jonathan. They come across the same incident, in which Robin almost lost his life, and realize that he can really use a bell for the signals. This is indeed a great idea by his mates. Next day, he also mentions his hard-working and loving wife that the Marconi stocks he bought earlier got doubled in price. He watches his son playing with a baby carriage and gets a brilliant idea. He calls a technician to build some sort of machine, and in no time we can see him finally spending time outside, while people were cheering for him. It was the first time in the history of humanity that something like this had happened. But the head doctor did not appreciate it, instead scolded them for risking their life and giving them false hopes. This did not affect Robin or any of his supporters. They were pretty excited and optimistic about it. We are moved to the year 1965, where Robin is sitting outside and feeling the fresh breeze of air and thinking about his past memories. It is the Christmas day, where his son walks over him him and show him an album of his old pictures, which almost makes Robin cry, since he could not do anything for his son. Seeing him like this, Diana comforts him emotionally, but what about Diana herself? Doesn't she need some sort of support? Next day, Robin has been taken somewhere mysterious. When Robin did not find pleasing to sit in the back, which was barely showing view of outside, the owner decided to put him on the front seat instead, which all of them enjoyed a lot. We can see Jonathan is growing at a fast pace. Robin is proud of him. Things were moving pretty fast. One night, Diana started to have some romantic moments with him, and we are moved to a scene where they were about to travel to Spain for some vacation. They were sitting in this large plane, which usually would contain the goods and the people. Finally, they were in Spain, in a hot deserted area. Right there, the servant accidentally put the plug in a wrong socket, which results in the whole car getting destroyed, along with Robin's machine. Somehow she managed to put the manual ventilation on him and decided to fix the electric one, but it was too damaged. Suddenly, a stranger comes in their way and helped them out, where Diana's brothers goes out with him to ask for some help. He comes back with tons of food for themselves until they wait for the mechanic to arrive. A group of local people even stops by them, appreciate Robin's presence and celebrate it. They are finally at peace after hearing lots of good music and enjoying while holding their hands. The mechanic from England finally arrives and is stunned to see all the hustle happening. Soon, the machine is fixed and everyone celebrates once again. Whole family finally reaches back into their house, where they meet Dr. Selmet, who takes a look at the advanced machinery they have created specially for Robin. He was very fascinated to know that Robin has lasted 11 years on one of these. He asked for a huge number of machines like that, but they needed funding for the extraordinary task. They reach a government employee for the investment in the machines, but he denies the file. They later reach out to one of the richest women in the town and ask for her precious money to be able to support people like Robin. She gets emotional and gives him good amount of money as funding. Not so soon after, the news spread everywhere, not just a news, but a hope for people to go on living a decent life. Later, they meet Dr. Eric, director of a disabled care facility. Upon arriving inside, several people were given a specific bed and being taken care of, but it didn't look any better than a jail cell for disabled. Suddenly, Robin arrives inside and shocks Dr. Eric, to which he suggests them to leave immediately because he knew that this was going to put everyone's hopes up inside this facility. All of them finally reach the conference, where tons of people were sitting who were relatives of hundreds of disabled people. Then arrives Robin, who gives them a speech so emotional that it changes their mind to buy the artificial chairs, just like the one he was sitting on. Few months passed by. Robin's condition was not getting any better, but the opposite. His son almost cried seeing his father in this condition. Robin and Diana is being told by the doctor that he might even drown into his own blood, since the respiratory line is vulnerable to blood being leaked into. Whole family was standing and enjoying the evening when Robin finally revealed his time has come and he will be gone soon. This was devastated to Diana and his son, and she walks away crying. But a while after thinking a bit, she agrees to let him go. She knew his condition was getting worse every day. Dr. Selmet was ready to help him, but suggests Diana and his son to stay away from the situation since it can lead to jail time in future. We can see a huge celebration happening for him. They escape the world and suffering. They drink some good wine and begin to speak a goodbye son to him while Diana was standing beside him. Next night, he once again suffers a consequence of his condition and Diana take cares of him. He explains there won't be anyone who could love her more than himself, and they have an emotional moment with each other. Robin calls Dr. Clent to let him know that his time has come, to which he immediately began to come his way. He asked for Jonathan, and it was clear it is really his time to leave the world. He tells them to listen very carefully and tell them to leave the house and they should come back at 12 o'clock. Dr. Clent was done his good deed and leaves while looking at Diana. She realizes that it is time for them to meet Robin and takes Jonathan along with her. John expresses love toward his father while he smiles in the happiness that he will finally be free. Diana explains he had given her a wonderful life and kisses him with unconditional love she always carried for Robin. Finally, it was over and we are again moved the memories of both Robin and Diana, all those lovely moments we call life, and suddenly, he was no more. Diana also recalls the moment when Robin was kissing her with all the love he had gotten. We can see all the real-life footage of Robin and Diana, and the story ends here. Make sure to subscribe and like to support the channel out. Have a good one.